Yo, yo, yo. It's your boy Chip. We back on the charts. Last analysis, last video, we went off on the charts, right? We did really great. We had a great week. We had a great man, it was just good. It was good. Like I was saying, these levels, the market is moving very smoothly. Yo, before we start, hit a like, you know what I mean? Get a like, the algorithm likes it, you know. Subscribe if you aren't subscribing already. Let's get it. Let's get into these charts. Today, we're gonna go over the Euro JPY and and we also gonna go over the GBP. Yeah, we're gonna go over GBP. And we also going to go over the AUD JPYs. We're only going to go over the JPYs today, right? Reason of is they're on some great trends right now. They're on some great trends. We want to catch these pips on them. Can't just let it waste. These pips are about to be very juicy. We about to get some great movement in the market. So let's get it. Let's go to this monthly, right? I'm going to check out this monthly. And just looking at this trend, it's just like, shoot, man. It looks just so nice, right? But let's look at this trend line, right? Haha. Let's get it. So we have a downtrend happening. We're coming up to a resistance area, right? Coming up to a resistance area. Are we going to see a break to the upside, right? Are we going to see a break to the upside? Or are we going to see, a touch to this trend line, fake out, and then come down, right? So just looking at the market right now, it looks like it wants to correct itself, right? It looks like it just wants to really correct itself. So that's just on the monthly. Let's check out the weekly. Okay, the weekly is getting up there. Are we going to end up breaking this high? Right, let's see. Let me put in this support and resistance on this monthly. Right, boom. Easier to put your support and resistance on your monthly. It just gives you the bigger picture rather you having to figure out, for example, if you're in the 4-hour, right? Some would not know that this is the monthly low unless you want to dial in with your cursor or your crosshairs, but some wouldn't understand these patterns. Also, these rejection areas where price has actually been in within this region, right? So it just gives us a better picture when it's drawn out on the monthly. So if you want to put that into your strategies, you can see where price is moving currently, because overall price is what needs to be your true indicator. Nothing. All right, so you could have as much indicators. You can have so much, indicators that are trying to predict the market. I can tell you what's really happening with those indicators, right? For example, imagine if you have real time, right? We're looking at time. It's running. It's perfect on time. Think about you putting on an indicator now. That's like, all right, your time now being modified to create real time. See, there's a process within there, right? If time is already happening now, why should we modify it to make the same time? It makes no sense, right? So what these indicators do is they slow down your mental progress when it comes down to, making the right decisions in the market, right? Emotionally trading, because indicators are they're going to get printed after price has been placed. Most indicators, I will say, they literally will just wait for price to do whatever it has to do, and it will print out. You don't want to be that type of trader, right? You want to be able to be self-reliant, right? You want to be able to attack the market on your beings. You don't want to be like, oh, this isn't cross. Not saying that all indicators are bad, but don't depend on your indicator. That's why you should be learning how to trade naked charts, right? The reason why is because what if, you come into a situation where you don't even need, where you're you can't even access the indicator that you've been, using. You're gonna be like, wow, I'm pretty much stuck. I don't know what's happening with the market. So what you need to understand is, the clean charts will open your eyes very much further. So, when you start to use a clean chart, you'll be able to use that indicator and, heavily affect it, right? You'll be able to put that into true actions, right? Rather than, you want to just be confident with yourself whenever you get into these. Because I know these indicators, they'll try to plant out things, a little bit too early. Some people get bad entries, some people get good entries, some people get confused. You don't want to get confused. We're already, like I said, going through what this whole chart is explaining is the human psychology, and we don't want to extra steps in our psychology, if you understand what I mean. So yeah, a little bit yeah, let me stop rambling a bit and let's get back to these analysis. So I see we might even see like a slight retracement, right? What I want to do is I'm gonna place my counter trend line, right? Or is this a trend that it wants to follow, right? So reason why I'm gonna place this trend also is because we see it's going up, it's going up, it's going up. But I see also kind of like a channel happening, right? Where price is very squeezing, right? It's squeezing this area. So are we gonna get a break? Or are we just gonna get a retest right back down to this trend line and then see a bullish movement? Or are we gonna see a break of this trend line, which is a counter trend line, right? Counter trend lines basically help you in so many ways, right? When you're seeing a pullback, you'll be able to, if price ends up breaking this level, you'll know that it is done with its pullback, and you can pull the trigger whenever the low gets hit, taken out. You'll be able to pull that trigger. But if that counter trend line is being tested, like if price comes down to it, right? If it ends up hitting to this level and then bouncing off of it, then that's the trend. It's wanting to stay. So, you have your downtrend. We see the overall picture, but this is short term. But the short term can end up turning long term. So we have two scenarios in this situation, which is good, which is really good. So, so I want to see this hit this trend line, and I want to see what it wants to do. So this week I'm gonna wait for the break of the high and the break of the low, actually. So what do we have on the weekly? We have about 63 pips down to that trend line, and that's at the close of that. But price is about to gap because it's Sunday. There's probably been some disruption over the weekend with these, knowing what's going on with the trade deals and such. Even though we just passed the phase one, which is which is a whole nother story. But let's get this. Even though for current price is 117 pips, 117 pips isn't bad. But if we end up seeing this break, right? If we end up seeing this break this high, I would want to take it back up to a nice resistance area. And resistance area is coming right back up there. So if anything, it would be going up 200 pips and seeing a slight pullback, maybe even consolidating within this region. But if we see a break to the downside, right? I see another resistance, which is a support resistance, right? We would want to take this. We want to check this out. This area is about 200 pips also. So there we go with the 200, both sides will get a pullback also about that 200. If it does not want to pull back, we'll continue seeing it go to the downside, to the lower support, and also another high. So let's see about the GBP JPY. Okay, so this thing's already starting to look bullish. It's already looking bullish. Cool. And that's the thing, these pairs rock together. They're correlated, so you can catch pips with them both, right? Let's look. Let's look. We're gonna see. Okay, we got our fake. We got an uptrend. Look at that. Another trend line. It's another 60 pips. Another 60 pips to that trend line. Yeah. So 60 to 70 pips. I want this to bull, right? I want to see it bull. If it doesn't bull, then we have a low, but this is very promising, right? With this trend line. We don't know how this market, like I said, is going to open up, but it looks bullish, y'all. This looks bullish. Also knowing what this support that's here, support, we have time just telling us exactly what's happening, right? We have a resistance area too, support, right? Price has just jumped off these levels, right? Off this red line, price has gotten away from it. That's what I mean by rejecting and the support, right? It's on the floor, So yeah, I really want to see this bull, and we have some resistance here. So this is gonna be a bullish also, right? And remember the Euro JPY we were going over, it looked bullish. So, but we do have the counter line, so we're protected on both ways. So let's go to the AUD JPY. Let's mark this up. We have a clear picture of what's happening now. Look at that. I'm bulling. Like, let's check it out. Looks bullish, but we'll check it out. We'll see if there's going to be a pullbacks or any such. Let's pull this. Wow. So I'm going to go to my daily, check that support down there. Yeah. Figured. Okay. We got another pool. Let's see. Okay, AUD JPY on the daily needs a nice pull back. Needs a nice little pullback. Let's check this out. That's 100 pips. Okay, so AUD JPY does need 100 pips to go down to that trend line, which is pretty nice. Let's check it out. Yeah, 100, 110 on the hour, but I stay on the daily a bit, higher time frames. I want to see what price ends up wanting to do at this level. Okay, I want to see what it wants to do at this trend line. This trend line hit. This trend line hit should be at like, resistance. Okay, so I'm looking at like 74.645. I want that area to be rejected, and I want to see us get a bullish movement. It's a lot of consolidation within this area and a lot of rejection areas. So I do think that this area is not going to be too valid for us. We're just going to see this straight go to this trend line. Just exactly what all these JPYs are doing. They want to pull back and then they want to bull. And that's awesome. That's great. So that we have a great, picture of what the market wants to do, at least for this week. But like I always say, I'm no robot. I'm no person to predict. This is just my informated, guessing. So all we can really do as traders. We can, looking too far can hurt you, in the current, because you're not looking at current price. Anything, like I always say, a tweak can make the market move how it wants to. Like, it's crazy. I feel like it's just tied with life. There's so much into it. But all right, guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. If, like I said, if you could share, subscribe, like, I would really appreciate that. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a great day. Peace.